KOIN 6 News, really some disappointing news for local students. They won't be going to the state championships after all.
Yeah, the Oregon School Activities Association is saying that mistakes made by administrators are disqualifying the students from the Lake Ridge High Orchestra and the Cleveland High Choir. Tim Becker is live outside Cleveland High School to explain this.
Yeah, you know, it is a shame that so many students won't get a chance to compete for a state championship after they thought they'd made it. So how did it happen? Well, that's one of the questions I took to the OSAA.
There's no blame put anywhere. It's just disappointing that the rules are in place the way they are.
Heidi Littler's son and Karen Delaney's daughter both play in the Lake Ridge High Orchestra that won the league tournament but won't be going to state.
She wants to be able to put on her college applications next year that she played for a high school orchestra that won the state title. And she's being denied that.
The reason? One member is a student at Lake Oswego High, but a class scheduling conflict forced him to take orchestra courses at Lake Ridge. A normal practice in the district for classes, but not competition.
He's only eligible to compete where he's a full-time student.
The OSAA's Peter Weber points to their rule book and Section 811 that says to compete for a school activity, a person has to be a full-time student at the school. Obviously unclear to someone in charge here, or it would have never happened.
So who's at fault here?
Well, again, we don't like to throw blame or fault around, but certainly our rules, I think, are pretty clear when it comes to you have to be a full-time student.
It seems like there needs to be a major overhaul of the eligibility rules for musicians.
Upset parents argue the rules are ambiguous and not uniformly enforced. They want more consistency and clarity. And choir members at Cleveland High want the same thing after also being denied entry to state despite running away with their league title.
It's like the end of our senior year. We've been working so hard for 4 years to get to this point, and it's just so disappointing.
In effect, none of the materials that needed to be submitted were submitted.
Weber tells me necessary online registration never made it to the proper OSAA webpage on time.
And if we were to let Cleveland in after the deadline when they hadn't submitted the information, then one of the teams that did do things on time and submitted it would then be left out.
So the OSA saying they're just basically trying to be fair to the other schools and uphold the rules. But to the parents and students' point, you know, is there a way those rules might be better written and reiterated, because now over 100 students won't be able to be a part of something that they worked for all year? Live in Southeast Portland, Tim Becker, KOIN 6 News.
So Tim, I'm curious about something. In other cases similar to this, I've seen parents file lawsuits to get an injunction. Any talk of that?
Not at this point, but the choir here at Cleveland High School did go through 3 appeals, and the last one ended with a retired judge also ruling in favor of the OSAA, saying it's simply in the rules that it has to be done the way that you didn't do it.
Ah, I see. Good perspective. Thank you, sir. I feel bad for those kids. Very bad.